Hello everyone, this is Vrishali and welcome to the second series of Power Electronics and Application. In this video, we are going to see how UJT, that is unijunction transistor, can be used to trigger the thyristor. So before starting with the triggering operation, we will see what is UJT, its construction, operation, and then synchronized UJT triggering for SCR. We will also see the generation of output pulses. So let's start. What is UJT? UJT stands for unijunction transistor. It is a three-terminal device, and as its name suggests, it is a unijunction, that is a single junction device. UJT is always operated as a switch, and switching voltage of UJT can be easily varied by a circuit designer. UJT can be used in oscillators, timing circuits, SCR triac triggering circuits, etc. So the basic structure of UJT is shown over here. This is a UJT symbol and this is a basic structure. It has a three terminals B1, B2 and E. The basic structure of UJT consists of a lightly doped N-type silicon bar provided with the ohmic contacts at the end. The two terminals B1 and B2, that is a base 1 and base 2. A small heavily doped P region is alloyed into one side of the bar closer to B2. This P region is a UJT emitter. It forms a PN junction which is highlighted in this figure. An interbase resistance RBB exists between B1 and B2. To know about this resistance, we will see a UJT equivalent circuit. So this is a RBB, that is a interbase resistance which exists between base 1 and base 2. So the resistance which is near to base 1 is RB1 and resistance from B2 to emitter is RB2. The value of this equivalent RBB resistance is a combination of RB1 plus RB2. It can easily be measured with the ohm meter with the emitter open. Since the emitter is closer to B2, that is a base 2, so the resistance RB1 is having a greater value than RB2. So in this equivalent circuit, the diode represents the PN junction between emitter and base bar at point X. The arrow through RB1 indicates that it has a variable value ranging from 4 kilo ohm down to 10 ohm. Now we will see two modes of operation of this unijunction transistor. When the emitter diode is a reverse biased, only a very small amount of emitter current will flow. Under this condition, RB1 is at a normal high value. This is off state of UJT. On the other hand, when the emitter diode becomes forward bias, the RB1 drops to a very low value so that the total resistance between E, that is the emitter, and B1, that is the base 1, becomes very low. It allows emitter current to flow readily. This is on state of a UJT. So these two are on state and off state of unijunction transistor. Now we will see how this UJT is used to trigger a thyristor. So this is a block diagram of a synchronized UJT triggering circuit as shown over here. I hope you have watched that video by Professor Mittal which I have recommended in the prerequisite 3 videos of a Unit 2. So in that video, you must have seen how this UJT is used as a relaxation oscillator. So in this synchronized UJT trigger circuit, the diode D1, D2, D3 and D4 rectifies as AC to DC. The output of it is denoted as EDC. So to lower the value of this EDC, the resistance RS is connected over here for Zener diode or UJT. This is a Zener diode DZ is used to clip the rectified voltage to fix the voltage VZ. So EDC voltage will get lowered by the resistor RS, and then it will get clipped by the Zener diode to VZ. Now this VZ Zener voltage is applied to RC circuit. The capacitor C discharges through the R until it reaches the UJT trigger voltage Vp. This resistor R having a variable value. So this arrow indicates that the value of R varies. The UJT is connected over here. This UJT then turns on and this C capacitor discharges through the UJT emitter and through the primary of pulse transformer. We have already studied the operation of pulse transformer. The winding of pulse transformer have a pulse voltages at their secondary terminals. The pulses at two secondary windings feed the same in-phase pulses to SCR of a full wave circuit. So here the SCR will be connected. This output is given to the SCR gates. So SCR with a positive anode voltage would turn on. Rate of rise of capacitor voltage can be controlled by varying this resistor R. This method of controlling the output power by varying the charging resistor R is called as a ramp control or open loop control or manual control. As the Zener diode voltage Vz goes to 0 at the end of half cycle, the synchronization of a trigger circuit with the supply voltage across the SCR is achieved. So basically this is a rectified output. As we have seen in the figure, the resistance Rs is connected in the series before giving it to a Zener diode. So this is a EDC, and due to Zener diode it is get clipped. So this is Vz. So this value will be Vz and this value will be eta into Vz. The value of eta is 0.75 to 0.85. So if the value of Vc, that is a voltage across the capacitor, becomes eta into Vz, then it will produce the pulses. So for the first cycle, for the lower value of resistor, capacitor charges and discharges, charges, discharges, like that. So the pulse voltages are shown here. The first pulse will obtain when the capacitor discharges for the first time. Second pulse will obtain when the capacitor will discharge for the second time, and so on. So in every half cycle, more than one pulses are obtained. So this is how the UJT can be used for the synchronized triggering of SCR. So thank you, stay home, stay safe and happy e-learning.